All right, we should be live. Everything should be working right now, so hopefully it is. And welcome back to a new live stream. Wanted to live stream the US opening right here. Has just opened with this little green candle right here. You can see, and it's going to be quite volatile, I would say. So that's why I wanted to do a quick stream. I'll quickly spread the words that the stream is live everywhere. On X, Telegram, Discord, maybe also YouTube posts, but probably not. So I'll probably do that real quick. So give me a moment. I mean, the US session has just opened. You can see the live price action on the screen right here. I first of all wanted to quickly take a look at the opening itself. So the first 10 minutes or so. And then wanted to take a look at some opportunities, because obviously, or at least today, there most likely will be opportunities. So we'll try to see whether we can actually spot them, and we'll try to get a bit of an idea of what to expect from the US session today. Obviously, last week they were incredibly strong, so that's great news. But that could turn around very, very quickly over the course of this week. So if we get indications that is happening, then that's also an opportunity, but then in the other direction, of course. So we'll talk about that. I'm still sending out some messages that I'm live. How's everyone doing, by the way? Did everybody have a good weekend? I hope so. My weekend was quite busy, but that's also necessary sometimes. Yes, all right, last one right here, and we're live. All right, let's get right into it. So far, not so good. Let's go to the lower time frames right here, 15-minute time frame. A bit of a red candle forming right here. But ultimately, look, if you take a look at this TPO right here, this volume profile, it's quite a balanced day, and we still have a lot of support. So even though the initial opening so far is not amazing, that doesn't really mean that much yet. So this is something we'll have to monitor, of course. Excuse me, it's too much water. Great start. But all right, let's keep an eye on things right here. S&P 500 trading slightly higher. The Coinbase Bitcoin price is slightly the same still. It's actually going up a little bit. All right, that's better. Yeah, microphone is good right now, right? Microphone right now is better than this morning, I hope. Bitcoin continues to push down a little bit. Look, the first 30 minutes of the US Open, which is what I'll try to be streaming for, usually those 30 minutes don't really matter that much. All right, if you go back to Friday, for example, right here, you can see that the real momentum started like at 4 p.m. right, and right now in my time zone, so that's in 30 minutes. So if these first 30 minutes are not going to be extremely strong, that's not necessarily that's not necessarily an indication that the rest of the US markets or the rest of the US session will not be strong. So that's definitely something to take into account. So far we're dropping, but that doesn't matter that much. Mirapit, I don't think we'll have an alt season in the traditional sense, right? I mean, in the traditional sense, an altcoin season is where every altcoin rallies. I don't think we'll have that. I don't think we will ever have that again. The market cap is just too high. The crypto market is too seasoned for that to happen, right? I mean, if we go to others, for example, so this is the altcoin market cap. No, this total 3, excuse me. But if we take a look at others, so this is the chart. What you'll see, if we go all the way back to the previous alt season, that was right here, right? That was 2020. And what you can see there is that we started from a $50 billion market cap, and at this point of time we're at a $240 billion market cap, right? So you're never going to get a rally like this again. That's just impossible, because then we would reach valuations that crypto at this point of time definitely cannot reach. or at least in my opinion, cannot reach, right? I think crypto is already, or at least a lot of projects are already very, very overvalued. To then throw a 4x on top of those valuations, that's incredibly unlikely in my opinion. And I would definitely not buy altcoins these next couple of months because you assume that an altcoin season is going to happen. Because that's just incredibly unlikely, I think. But alright, let's take a look at some coins. If any of you have some requests, I'll take a look at some coins here to the left as well, because I have some charts showing activity, so I'll keep an eye on that as well. But if you have some requests, let me know. Hedera at this point of time rejected from 20 cents again. 20 cents was my main level where I wanted to buy. Right now it looks more likely, especially if the opening for Bitcoin remains bearish. Looks more likely we'll retest this level at 18 cents. Get a strong reaction there, and that might actually be a reason to buy. But at this point of time, not much. Hyper is still interesting, I think. So that's this. For those of you who are interested in the tickers, I still think if Hyper is going to be able to reclaim this level at 20 cents, which so far we haven't been able to do so, I still think this could be a great opportunity, but I'm not sure if the funding rate is also negative already. I don't think so, but who knows? No, it doesn't seem to be the case. Hyperlane right here. Well, it actually shows that it's slightly negative right here. No, it's pretty normalized. So as long as this is normalized, there's a very low chance for this to rally. Someone else requested Say, very interesting coin by the way. Looks good, right? It's at resistance right now. I have a price alert at 21.7 cents. If we're going to be able to reclaim this level right here with a 90-day rolling VWAP, I think Say is a buy. And like I said, I'll keep writing the names of the tokens here on the chart, so you actually know what I'm talking about. Say, whatever you want to call it. But I need to see this level being reclaimed, right? I mean, this is a very, very relevant key level. So buying right now, while the level has not been reclaimed yet, I think doesn't make sense. But if we actually are able to reclaim that, I think we can reach at least this next level right here at 25 cents, which is a pretty major move, right? I mean, from that level, let's assume we're going to get a perfect retest. It's about a 15% move. So definitely looks interesting. And if we're going to be unable to break right here, because it's quite difficult to break out right here for Say, right? The main level I'd be looking at is right here, a little bit lower towards 18 and 17.5 cents. But at this point of time, it kind of looks like it looks like it's a better idea to not do too much. This Bitcoin right now at 19.7, still a bit of a bearish opening so far. The S&P 500 is actually doing relatively fine, so that means that Bitcoin is weaker than the S&P 500, which is bearish. Let's see if there's some significant changes to the Coinbase Bitcoin price. I don't think so. No, that's still quite high. And volume in the markets at this point of time is still the same basically as the Asian and the EU session. So not much going on there yet. To be fair, it kind of feels like we're going to get most of the moves a little bit later. So let's say in the next 20 to an hour or something like that. That seems a bit more likely because you can see down here as well, like the volume right now is actually not that impressive. And you do need volume to actually to have some major moves. Let's check out the chat real quick. Gap for the win. We just covered Say. We just covered it. All right. So just scroll back a little bit. Yeah, Andrew, very sharp. Let's see XRP. I know a lot of you are interested in XRP. XRP pulling back slightly here. The main level that XRP needs to hold here, it seems like. Let me quickly disable the TPO. The main level that XRP needs to hold is right here between 2.25 and 2.3, right? So we're pulling back right now. We're filling some imbalances. That's normal. That's fine. But then we do need to see a reaction at 2.25, 2.26. If we do see a reaction there, we can still get up to 2.41, 2.45. If we don't see a reaction there, it's more likely we're going to pull back a little bit lower into this imbalance right here at 2.2. But for now, main level is right here, right? So either get a bounce and bounce up towards this zone right here, or we do not, or we get a very weak bounce, or we do not get a bounce and we'll drop down to this imbalance right here. That's XRP, but that's very similar to Bitcoin, right? Because if you take a look at Bitcoin right here on the 1 hour time frame, we're pulling back slightly towards this level here around 94,000. If we're able to find support here at 94,000, we can bounce up to the POC right here at 96,500. If we're unable to get a bounce or a very weak bounce, we'll probably drop down to the balance we had down here. So that would be this area between 92,800 and 94,000. So Bitcoin and XRP quite similar here, even though XRP looks slightly stronger, I'd say. If you compare the prices right now for Bitcoin to the prices we were at Friday, I think XRP is winning slightly. All right, let's do some requests while I'm also trying to keep an eye on the markets here. See, this is quite worrying, right? I mean, Bitcoin is pulling back here while the S&P 500 has a pretty good opening. That is that's slightly worrying. Not too much, of course. Like I said, it's we still have to wait for the New York Open to really start up. It's just the first 11 minutes right now. So how much can we say? Not much is the answer. But we'll see. Let me go through the chat real quick. Mirapit, there's a link in the Telegram bio. There you can join. And we're going to do some requests. All right, a lot of requests coming in, so bear with me here. A bit of sensory overload, but let's take a look at usual. Yeah, usual is one of the strangest charts in the entirety of crypto, right? It's relatively stable here, but the spikes we've had in the last couple of weeks, it's incredible. But no, I mean, usual seems to be consolidating here slightly between what is it? The main level for usual that we seem to have to break above is right here between 15 and 15.5 cents. There we have the value area high. You can see in general 15.5 cents seems to be respected quite a bit, and 15 cents is also a psychological level, and the main support level is down here towards 11 cents, and it seems to me that this is the bottom. If you take into account the TVL, so how much value is locked on usual in combination with the revenue they make, I'd say at some point of time, we can be very volatile within this range, but I think at some point of time we are going to get a real breakout compared to the last time, and that we can refill these levels right here towards 18.5 cents. That's what I would expect. A little bit reliant on what Bitcoin does, but still. John, thank you for the $2 Canadian. Let's take a look at Crow. David, we covered H-bar before. It's kind of we just rejected from 20 cents. So unless we can break above that with a very strong Bitcoin, I'd say we're going to drop down into 18.5. Let's see. Yeah, Crow. Oh, excuse me. Crow, which chart did I have there? I think I had the crypto.com chart on there. Can I still find that or not? I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, Crow, I kind of thought this already. Crow is still in the same consolidation it was in before, right? I mean, we have this balance here. We broke out of this main resistance level before here at 9.5 cents. Because that is essentially what we want to do, right? This is the main resistance level. We want to break above that, rally back up to these poor highs right here, potentially rally up to the yearly rolling VWAP towards 12 cents. That's what we want. We had a bit of a volume spike right here last week Wednesday, but overall, CRO just looks very stable. And I don't immediately see a reason right now technically why we would break out, right? 9.5 is quite strong. We haven't really seen that much strength from CRO last week when the markets were very strong. So right now, while the markets are pulling back slightly, can we expect CRO to break out? Maybe if we get some good news. Right, that's also when we broke out on Monday or Monday the 24th. Back then we had a lot of great news. I think then we can break out. But for now, I'd say it's more likely to just expect us to get up to that level right here towards 9.7 cents. But from there to drop down at least to the POC again at 8.4 cents and potentially back down to 7.5, which by the way 7.5 cents looks like a good level. Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing in the chat? We're spamming Solana. if you're going to spam, I'm not going to cover it. Come on, that's easy. And I made a video on Solana this morning, by the way. That's still very, very valid. So if you really want to see Solana, check out the video. It's much better. It's explained in much more detail. Yeah, Andrew, it's a little bit crazy, but people are tuning in a little bit later. So they don't know what we have covered already. But we covered SEI, we covered XRP, we covered CRO. Going to cover, I wanted to cover SUI, but someone was spamming that again. Let's take a look at TARS. TARS, I haven't taken a look at that in a long while. The last time it was holding on relatively well, I believe, but I'm not sure if it's still. Do we actually, where is it? Do we have a good chart on this? Oh, TARS is actually rallying quite a bit. But I had a different chart. I had a different chart on this, but I lost it. Where did I have it? Not Blowfin. Did I have it on the perpetual futures? I don't think so either. But TARS, relatively decent here. We had a previous value right here. It seems to me that TARS is trying to get back into this value. The volume is at least incredibly high in the last week, so that's good to see. The main level though that we still need to sustainably break into with TARS is this level right here at well, I would say like it's a bit of a dual level. We first of all have a key zone right here at 11.5. And then the lower bound right here is around 10 cents, right? So 10 cents we have already broken back above, but we have not broken back into the value area. So I would say the main level for TARS to look at is 11.5 cents. If we're able to reclaim back into that, we're back into this into this value. So then I would expect levels around 15, 16 cents to be reached, and then some more stability. But we do need to break above 11.6 cents relatively soon, especially if the market is going to pull back. And if that doesn't happen within the next couple of days, I'd say it's more likely we're going to get a pullback into this level right here around 7 cents, which is the first level where we have a bit of liquidity again, and that's also where you see quite a lot of technical confluences. What more do we have? I'm trying to cover everything, by the way, guys. It's there's a lot of messages coming in. SUI, I made a video on this morning as well, right? I mean, SUI, it's very clear to me that we're forming a bearish divergence. So if within the next hour we're not going to get a strong Bitcoin, we're not going to get more momentum coming into Bitcoin, I think it's most likely SUI is going to pull back into 3.2 and $3 at least, which is the main higher time frame support level. Those are my thoughts on SUI. Raika, what did you request? I haven't seen it. I don't see any message. Oh yeah, I do. All right, Ave, let's cover that. Excuse me. There's a lot of messages coming in, right? I'm trying to cover as much as I can here, but it's quite difficult, right? I have my charts here in front of me, and to the left I see all these messages coming in. And I'm trying to cover whatever I can while also still keeping an eye on the markets, right? So Bitcoin at the same point of time, while I'm trying to fulfill some requests, Bitcoin is pulling back here, and we're nearing a major support zone right here at 94,000. And we do need to see that reaction. The volume right now is increasing in the markets, but if it's increasing while the market is pulling back, could also be the start of a bigger bearish move into the low 90s. But so far, like I said, it's the first 20 minutes of the US session. Can we really make conclusions right now? No. But Aave, I checked this out this morning. Higher time frames hit a strong support level right here at 135. Broke above the balance we had here. I think Aave is relatively stable. We have a major resistance zone right here at 190. That's the value area high we made right here in the middle of March, but that's also a super high confluence resistance zone. So breaking above that is going to be incredibly hard. I think it's more likely we hit a major liquidity zone as well right here. I think it's most likely that Aave is going to pull back into 150, 155. Get a strong reaction from there. That's great, and we can stay within the balance that we are right now. Get a weak reaction from there, and it's more likely we're going to pull back into 130, 140, which would open up the chance again of falling down even lower towards this major support zone between 110 and 100, right? So it's quite essential. It's quite essential for Aave to get a good reaction right here from 155 and 150. But I would say, even though the opening right here is quite bearish and it's not necessarily getting better, I would still say it's most likely for Aave to get a good reaction here, stabilize, and then from there we'll see again. We're basically waiting for a sustained breakout, and as long as we do not have that, it's most likely we're going to continue to find some balance. What do we have? There's no trade war updates, Mirapit. I don't think so, at least. Are there? Let's take a look. Truth Social is also a great website to keep an eye on right now to see if Donald Trump has said anything. I don't think so. No, nothing major. Nothing major. Also nothing on Reuters. There's some geopolitical news coming out. There's a power outage in large parts of Spain and Portugal, as I think most of you already know that. I think it's in parts of France, maybe some parts of Italy as well, but that I'm not sure about. I'm not sure what happened here. It's going to be quite interesting to see what has happened here. Maybe it's some sort of a solar flare. Maybe it's a hack. Maybe it's just maybe the systems or maybe the network was just overloaded. It's a possibility as well, of course. Pretty good reaction here from Bitcoin to the fair value gap. I think we're also dipping into the POC right here. Are we? Yeah, kind of. But Bitcoin. Look, the main thing is, as long as we're holding 94,000, we're fine. Right, so this is this looks like a pretty bearish opening, and it is. But as long as we're holding 94,000, technically there's nothing to worry about. Hatim, I don't know. I never, like in the last month. After every, I'm not sure if there was hope after every rally. Or at least I'm not sure if there was a bloodbath. I mean, if we take a look at Bitcoin here, and we zoom out, like every time Bitcoin rallied the last month, sure there's exceptions to that rule. Well, I mean the last month since the 28th of March, yeah, sure. Right here we had a bit of a bloodbath. Right here we had a bit of a bloodbath because that was obviously fundamentally driven. But every time, like especially since the beginning of April, every rally was actually rewarded quite handsomely. So far, I mean, but here you can see, I mean, if you zoom out on Bitcoin, and this chart is extremely messy, I know, but if you zoom out, you can see the massive imbalances we have to the downside right here. We have some massive imbalances still towards 86,000, and then we also still have a bit of an imbalance right here towards 78,000. Now, I don't expect those all to get filled, but that is a bit of an eye opener to how far and how deep we can fall relatively quickly if things turn south. And you can see right here, things are turning south a little bit. Fetch was also requested. Fetch hit the value area high right here at 80 cents. The main level we're dropping down into right now is this level around 65 cents. I need to see a strong reaction there from Fetch, right? Fetch, ASI, whatever you want to call it. Strong reaction to 65 cents. And we can stay in this balance and we can still break 80 cents and rally up to $1, which would be most likely if we actually do see a strong reaction here. But if we see a weak reaction and we're unable to hold that, then this was the top, right? And we're going to drop down at least into 60 cents, obviously, but potentially into 50 cents as well. So that's all of a sudden, that's a 20-30% move down. But this is the case for a lot of altcoins, all right? If you take a lot of altcoins, if you take a look at a lot of altcoins right now, they're all forming these bullish structures, right? Same thing for Solana, which I'm covering it right now. Same thing with for Solana. We have a main support level right here at 144, 145. And so far we're holding it, right? But we do need to continue holding that, because if we fail to hold that, all of a sudden we've broken down below a significant support level, and that would probably coincide with Bitcoin dropping down below a significant support level as well. And then things can turn south very, very quickly, right? I mean, most of you should be prepared for that as well. Adam, or Adam, I covered Hedera a little bit earlier. I covered it twice already, I think. Sonic, also requested. Very interesting coin, at least on the higher time frames, I think. Because Sonic, as you can see right here, if you zoom out, we're basically consolidating here between 62 cents, and then here at the bottom right here at 40 cents. So that's a pretty major range, right? I mean, that's a range from bottom to top of about 50%. And right now we're just finding balance here in the middle. So what I usually say is don't trade the chop, right? And this is the chop. We're chopping here in the middle. You can see historically we've chopped in that area for a very, very long time. As long as we're doing that, there's nothing interesting about it, right? You should either trade 62 cents, and then whether you expect a breakout, if you expect a breakout, go long. If you expect a test or just a rejection, go short. Same thing with 40 cents. If you expect the support to hold, go long. If you expect the support to break, go short. And then just trade those edges, and anything in between, don't trade it. Pretty severe drop right now, to be fair. XDC did not cover. There's a lot of people interested in XDC. Let me see. But I believe a lot of people that like XRP, which obviously I cover XRP and I keep an eye on XRP a lot. I think a lot of those are also interested in XDC. I believe that's true. This was last analysis. That was correct. So that's great. This looks quite strong, to be fair. Just the eye test right here. It looks quite promising. I'm not sure if I have correlation data on this. Let me see if I do. No, I don't. Ah, that's a shame. But this looks quite uncorrelated to the markets, and that's always interesting. We hit a significant support level right here at 6.7 cents. It seems to me that we are breaking out right now, right? We had balance. We had a strong resistance level right here at 7.6 cents. We're breaking above that right now, and it looks to be like there's quite a lot of volume in this breakout, right? So it actually looks like as long as Bitcoin doesn't crash, of course. But XTC actually looks quite good to go for a continuation into the main resistance level here at 8.6 and 9 cents. Looks quite good. I don't really see any reason, except for, like I said, a very bearish market for XTC not to do this, because it seems very uncorrelated, and there seems to be quite a lot of uncorrelated strength, which is always great. By the way, Bitcoin is losing 94,000 here. Like I said, it's still within the first 30 minutes after the US opening, right? So I'm not sure whether this could just be one big bear trap. And we still have an imbalance right here at 93,800, 93,600. So I think the best thing to do right now is not to overreact. All right, as long as we're holding this level and there's no major fundamental news, which I don't think is the case right here. Gold is still relatively stable. The S&P 500 is pulling back a little bit here. The Coinbase Bitcoin premium might be decreasing slightly. Decreasing a little. But like I said, as long as we're holding this level at 93,600, we're fine. Drop down below that and I'll start to get worried, right? But for now, I think it's fine. And we also left a massive imbalance here to the upside. So this might be the ideal setup for a bull trap. But like I said, only if we get a strong reaction here. Get a strong reaction here, and we can easily jump back up to fill this entire imbalance. Get a weak reaction here and fill like half of this imbalance, and we can have continuation into 92,800. That's what I would say about Bitcoin right here, but I'll have to think about that a little bit as well. Yeah, we're below 94,000, but as it's a bit of a bigger area. And we haven't broken below it, right? I mean, the 1 hour time frame, we're still holding it, and the higher time frames, 4 hour time frame, we're definitely still holding it, right? So as long as that's the case, we're fine, I think. Mr. King, you mean Babylon? I assume, right? Because I haven't seen that, or at least I haven't checked that for a long time, because it was very, very volatile. Yeah, it was very volatile, but it seems to be consolidating here. Could be interesting, but there's one thing I don't like, and that's this, right? Volume is decreasing a lot. So that would be the key reason for me to say I'm not going to trade this, to be fair. If you take a look at this, I'd say the main resistance level is around 8.6. So that's the main level I'd keep an eye on for a potential breakout. But if there's a breakout and the volume is still extremely low, I still wouldn't do anything with it. We're almost going to end the stream, guys. I have to make some new videos. I have to still make a market update. For those of you who don't know, I also have a second channel right now on which I cover the stock markets and gold, etc. Gaining a lot of views, as you can see. But if you're interested in that, check that out as well. It's called Market Insights with Cilinix, and that's very much focused on the broader financial markets. Gold, maybe some oil in some time, but don't know. But that's it, guys. I'll have to focus on the markets a little bit. Do some see if there's some trades. Going to make a market update. Going to make a new video on the second channel. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye on that as well. And then Cardano, Eddie, I saw you requested. I'll make a full video on Cardano soon. All right, just to make it back to you. But right now, like I said, we're still holding this level. The main level we need to hold is between 94 and 93.4 right here. Right now we're filling the imbalance because this move we made at the start of the US session was very imbalanced. And then the main things to keep an eye on are the S&P 500, Coinbase Bitcoin price, and the volume. All right, if those are all good, we can easily flip this imbalance into support. If those are not good, we're going to fill this imbalance and drop down to 92.8. So be aware of that. But that's what I think you need to know for now. All right, so everybody, thanks for tuning into the stream. Take care today. All right, Monday is always a risky day to trade, so just be aware of that when you are trading. And for now, thank you for being here. I want to welcome you all to the Telegram and Discord groups. Make sure to join those. Links will be down in the description. But for now, I'll see you all in my next live streams. I'll talk to you all in the Telegram or the Discord, or I'll see you all in my next videos. For now, take care. Have a great day.